If you are over 40 and you haven't changed your makeup routine in years, it could be aging you. Today I'm gonna break down 6 common makeup mistakes that can instantly age you, and more importantly, how you can fix them. I'm also gonna be doing a side-by-side demo so you can see the difference for yourself. Let's get into it. All right, I just got these fun little bangs that are not good for makeup tutorials. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put them back for a little bit so I can go ahead and look like Cindy Lou Who. All right, on the right side, I'm gonna demonstrate the makeup mistakes. And then on the left side, I'm gonna demonstrate how I believe it could be done in a more youthful way. Makeup mistake number 1, too heavy or too matte of a foundation. So I went out and got myself a matte foundation. This is actually supposed to have really good reviews for a matte foundation, and I'm gonna work it in as I would if it was a foundation that I would use on a regular basis. And it's already, I can tell it's gonna be, a full coverage matte foundation, which is not something I have put on my skin in a very long time. I like my skin to breathe, and I have very acne prone skin, so I can imagine something this heavy on a regular basis would break it out. And just because, you have like maybe blemishes or flaws that you want to cover, there are other foundations that have some radiance to them that you can use that can still do the job. I can already tell it has accentuated every single pore I have on my face. I'm going to show you a medium coverage foundation that has some radiance and is the one that I use on a regular basis. So you still can get nice coverage, but still have some glow and some radiance to your skin. And so I'm going to be using the NARS. This is the Light Reflecting Foundation. And I really like this foundation. I've been using it for a little bit now, and I feel like it gives a nice glow and your skin can still breathe. And you can also see how it has accentuated, some fine lines and created some crepiness on this side. This side, I definitely have fine lines, but it's not as exaggerated. Mistake number 2, too much concealer, too light of concealer, and in the wrong placement. All right, so for the mistake side, I'm gonna go ahead and use this very full coverage. It's the Born This Way Super Coverage by Too Faced, and apply it, a decent amount to cover all our dark circles and all the things. Drag it down a little bit. And this is shade Snow if you end up liking this side better. Also gonna apply it with a makeup brush, a combination of my fingers as well, because that's what I would do normally. And I'm definitely not trying to purposefully make this look awful. All right, so it's definitely very full coverage. You can tell it covered my dark circles, but as you can see, and it hasn't even dried all the way, that it really did accentuate the fine lines I have underneath my eye and made me look way older. Again, it made my skin look very dehydrated, like I haven't had a glass of water in like 10 years. And from afar, this side, all the coverage is going to probably look not so bad. But I'm going to show you on this side what I would do for still have some nice coverage, still cover your dark circles, but give you more of a youthful look. All right, so on my left side, I'm gonna be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and we're still gonna put it in our dark circle area. And I'm going to drag it up a little bit as well. I'm gonna slowly work this in. And on this side, I am not gonna use my makeup brush because I do feel like that can matte it out. To have the most skin-like finish, it's best to use your own fingers, the warmth of your fingers, and in my opinion, the Beauty Blender. And then if you end up needing a second coat, you can always go in and add a little bit more to the areas. Like for me, it's right here. And instead of concentrating on the entire under eye, it's best to just strategically put it where it needs it. And I do always try to avoid putting it too far up here where you can cause little wrinkles up there, because it's going to get up there anyways, but if you at least try to avoid it, you won't get as much product up there. Whereas as you see up here, I brought it all the way up, and even though I blotted out the excess product, there's still a good bit under there. It's definitely not good for fine lines. All right, so as you can see, this side's a little bit more natural. When I do a little squint test, you can see that I still have my coverage, but it's not as cakey as the right side. To be honest, I've tested out so many concealers and it's almost impossible for them not to really settle into your fine lines, but you can opt for a Radiant Formula concealer that's going to settle in your fine lines way less. To me, this side looks a lot more youthful and refreshed, and this one, like I said, looks a little bit more dry and dehydrated. All right, mistake number 3, too much blush and in the wrong placement. All right, on the wrong side, we are going to take a blush and we're going to smile and we're gonna add it to the apples of our cheeks. And we are just gonna go to town because blush is youthful. Rosy cheeks are youthful, but there is a right way and a wrong way. And I do feel like I have to over-exaggerate just a little bit for it to pick up on the camera, because I know not everybody goes in with this much blush, but most of the time this is kind of how you do it. Smile, cheeks, blend it around. All right, and as you can see, it instantly drags my face down and does not make me look youthful, that's for sure. So let me show you how I like to put blush on for a more lifted, youthful look. And I'm gonna be opting for a cream blush. On this side, I did use a powder blush, which does accentuate the dehydrated, dry appearance. I'm gonna use the Gibson Girl. This is Desert Plum. So what I'll start with is adding a couple dots to the top of my cheekbone. And you can always add more later. That's the thing with blush. We do love blush. Blush is youthful, but blush in the wrong placement can, like I said, instantly date you and drag your face down. What we want it to do is lift, just like we did with our concealer. Now I'm going in an upward motion, and I am doing it very high on my cheekbone, almost kind of where it does meet the under eye. Now, bronzer is really in right now, where it's like kind of like a blush bronzer combination. And that's why I love this particular color so much, is because it reminds me of, you know, a blush and a bronzer together, like a blush and a bronzer had a baby. But if you wanted to, you know, you can top it off with a powder bronzer as well, which I frequently do. Not to say powder is bad at all. I did, you know, say it can look more drying, especially if it's not applied right. Sometimes it doesn't pick up on camera, and I am applying more than I maybe typically would on an everyday basis. But I'm gonna show you how adding some powder to it and accentuating, or I guess applying more, can still work, because blush is one of the first things that disappears from your face. So it really is okay to add more blush than you think, but you do wanna make sure that you are placing it strategically and not overdoing it in the wrong places. And one of those things is getting a little too close to your nose and dragging it down. So if you do happen to get it too close to those areas, take your brush that you use to apply your foundation and melt that in. All right, so I hope you can tell the difference of the placement in the blush on this side and the difference of the blush on this side. Definitely way more radiant, way more youthful. This is definitely way more matte, way more dehydrated, and not youthful. All right, mistake number 5, harsh eyeliner in the wrong placement. On the mistake side, I'm gonna demonstrate how I think that heavy or too stark of eyeliner can make you look older, can date you. Again, I'm not purposely trying to make this look bad, so I'm going to fix any mistakes. All right, so I got my very bold extreme eyeliner on the top. And now I'm gonna make sure that we, you know, apply it to our lower lash line as well, because it's definitely a particular technique that I don't feel like is very youthful looking. And I have very sensitive eyes, so this is gonna not be good for later. Very hard to get off. All right, I got, you know, a lot of definition going on. Gave myself a little wing and made sure I had definition on the top and the bottom. And clean it up a little bit. All right, some might like this side, and that's okay. I just wanna make sure that you guys know that there's different ways to do it that you might find helpful and you might like better. So I'm gonna show you how I do it on the left side to where I feel like it still gives your eyes definition, but it's not too extreme and it's not too harsh. So the eyeliner that I usually reach for definition is the Gibson Girl Waterproof, and this is in dark chocolate, and it's so close to like a light black, so you're still really getting nice definition. But what I like to do is put it up and wiggle it up in my upper lash line. And this is a nice gentle formula, so it's not gonna irritate your eyes if you accidentally get it in your eyes. And I do prefer waterproof for something like this. So if it does get, you know, if you have watery eyes, you don't want it to, you know, transfer. And I'm still bringing it all the way to the inner corner, but it's all up in my lash line, not taking away any eyelid. It's not taking away any eyelid space. If you still wanted to do a flick up on the ends, do that. Now let's say you want more definition. What I suggest is going in with a powder and taking a really tiny brush and just kind of stamping it in on your lower lash line, or your upper lash line. Powder is just a lot easier to work with than eyeliner sometimes. There's definitely ways to give your eyes definition than harsh eyeliners. All right, so now you have nice definition on your upper lid. Now I'll demonstrate just a little bit on the lower lash line so you can see how you can still have definition on your lower lash line without going crazy. And I'm just gonna use something just a little less harsh for that. All right, there you go. It created nice drama, but it's nice and soft and it's still uplifting. Whereas even though I have a wing and everything on this side, the harshness of the black eyeliner all the way across on the top and the bottom, it's kind of closing my eye off. Whereas this is nice and soft and uplifting. All right, next makeup mistake is too much setting powder or baking. For the mistake side, I'm gonna be using the Huda Beauty baking powder. People swear by this, not my favorite, and that's okay. It's supposed to be a really good blurring formula and people just love this. All right, so baking is essentially applying powder to your face and letting it sit for like 3 minutes. And just go ahead and puff it in, and I'm, not going crazy. If you really wanted to go to town with baking, you put so much on that you can see it on your face, but we already know that we do not need it. But I'm gonna show you anyways. And then you're supposed to dust it off after that. All right, there is the too much powder, and it is a baking formula, so it is definitely gonna be more matte and blurring, but it did not blur my pores that the foundation created. So here's what that looks like. Little squinties test. And I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate on the left side. You can either use a very lightweight translucent setting powder, or you can opt for a setting spray instead. So that's what we're gonna do today, is we're gonna do a setting spray instead. Kind of help it dry a little bit faster with my little handy dandy fan. All right, she is baked and she is set, and you can see how this side is Again, very dull, dehydrated looking, whereas this still has a nice radiance to it, and it's glowy and it's more youthful. So before our last mistake, I'm gonna put on some mascara to complete my eyes, and I'll be right back. All right, I got my mascara on so I could finish the look on my eyes. And next, our final mistake, mistake number 6. Matte lipstick without any shine. All right, for the makeup mistakes side, we're gonna use a liquid lipstick, which I usually really like, but I always top it off with a little bit of shine. But today, we're not going to. We are just going to apply it as is. Let that sit. I'm actually gonna put a little bit of lip liner on as well, because I'm gonna put lip liner on this side. So just a little. Okay, you don't wanna go too extreme to where it doesn't look the same. On this side, I'm also gonna use a lip liner. This is the Huda Beauty, pinky brown. And I'm gonna line my lips just a little bit. And now on this side, we're gonna use a very creamy formula that it still has a lot of pigment, but it also has nice shine. It's kind of like a lipstick and a lip gloss combined. This is by Gibson Girl. It's blushed beige. Probably by far our most popular color. I feel like it looks good on everybody. Okay. A little difficult to apply on just half your lip. You don't always need a gloss, but if you want it to be extra shiny, we're gonna add just a little bit of gloss on top of that. This is also Gibson Girl, Nearly Naked. And I love this just by itself with lip liner. This side definitely even feels better on my lips. All right, you guys, do you see what I mean? Small tweaks can make a big difference. I'm gonna go ahead and do another little up close. Let me know in the comments which one of these makeup mistakes surprised you, and if you have ever been guilty of any of them. I know I definitely have. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with a friend, and do not forget to hit subscribe so you do not miss out on any more of my future videos. And I'll see you in the next one.